How's it going, everybody? Arcade back here with some more of What Remains of Edith Finch. Last time we discovered Molly, Barbara, Calvin, Odin, and all of their stories. So, all that remains is Sven, Edie, Sam, Walter, Kay, Gregory, Gus, Milton, Lewis, and Sanjay. Although I don't see her mom in here. Dawn, I believe was her name. No, it's in there. It's in there. I saw it. Yep. It's right. Yeah, it's right there next to Gus, above Calvin. Okay, so. Alright. So. Oh, wow. That's cool. So, that should do it.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Right. And now you know how.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Fair enough. Bill Bunton. Alright. That was. So far, these stories have been a trip. Wonder if you could do this if you already knew about it. I'll be darned. Why are you saving, game?
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Sven. Guess it was his workshop. Makes sense. This is where all the wood came from. Huh.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
It's a generator.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Wow.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Wow.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Wow, my controller just vibrated like crazy.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just
2005.
stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
Could you imagine eating peaches for 30 years?
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still
Crutch.
can.
The crutch is still there.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Canned peaches.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Wow. That hit me especially hard for some reason.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
30 years down here in this spot.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
I'm lifting. Oh, it's just taking a second. I mean, at least he had a lot of books. Not as many as I thought he did, actually. Not 30 years worth. Picture the outside. Dang, Walter. You kept yourself entertained, my man. You had a toilet.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
This garbage.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Grandma Edie. She knew it all. Wonder how long ago this train came.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Who's Odin?
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
Who? Who should know about their family?
And the history you're a part of.
Who? The history who's a part of?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
That's not right. I need to go this way. I don't know. Wait, are we at that swing? No. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh,
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Wow. Bailey. Oh, they've got what they were on there? Fish, cat, rabbit, dog. No, it doesn't have one. Rabbit, fish, cat, dog. Wow.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Fair enough. Oh, that's awesome. I like that a lot. The cat. Going to the moon. The builder. The storyteller. Man in the cave and the star. Wow. Edith Finch. Good God, woman. You were 93? Wow. So she's the longest living one there is. Out of all of them, she lived the longest.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Oh, I get it. This would be Edie and her husband looking at Odin still in the house while it's sinking.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh, it was right there? They barely didn't make it.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Wow.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
You have to see my
But
face
the
is
older
in
I
its
get,
confusion.
the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Sam.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
These guys were young. Like 33. Oh, you weren't even 20, were you? No, you weren't. No. Weren't. You were like, dude, you were like 16. Math. 6, 9, 8, 7, 17. That's not right either.
She lost 2
13?
of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Oh, wow.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Oh my gosh. 22 weeks. How many? What is that? 4, 12, 3, 16, 20. 5 months? That took me way longer than it should have. Like 5.5 months? I legitimately just counted on my fingers.
I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Fair enough. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I want to look around a bit. Okay.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
That's the way to do it. Become so familiar with him that when you meet him, he's like an old friend instead of someone you've been waiting your whole life to fear. Sam Finch. Wow. Alright, let's see what happened to you, Sam.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
Odin Finch National.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I...
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target.
This is really
Let me
cool.
get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, that's a
Great
neat
shot,
effect.
Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Go! I didn't know that that's what was going on. I was like, man, he's standing weird. Could you imagine?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
What a way to go.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Wow. I'm sorry about that silence. That's just... I forg... Wow. What a way to go, man. Reminds me of a story. I'm just gonna take a second here. When I was a little kid, my dad was always out hunting and stuff, and he there was this buck that he was chasing for like years, and he knew it, right? He would always recognize it when it would come up, and he went back out, and he chased it for like 3 years, and he finally shot and killed it, and now he has those antlers mounted on his wall, and we've moved all over the place. We used to move a lot. But every time we would move, he would always put those antlers, and it was so stupid. I told him this every time. He would always put them right behind the driver's seat where he sat, because the back was just filled. And I always told him that one of these days those antlers are going to come up and get him. If he ever got into a car accident, they would come up and get him. And one time, I was in the passenger seat, we were driving, and he had to stomp on the brakes, and the antlers came up and went right around his head. So they all the antlers were just sticking out. Right, enveloping his head, but they didn't hit him or anything. And I told him, and he said that that deer has been trying to get him back for that ever since he got it. And I think that was just a funny story that reminded me of it. But yeah, let's keep going. All right.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Fair enough. Finch control. That's a creepy baby. I know a creepy baby when I see one. And that over there, creepy baby. Oh, I don't like it. probably really sweet and cute and stuff, but right now, from this distance, Okay, it's cute. Okay, we're fine. False alarm. We're good. Wow. Dawn's the only one who made it out of this room. Wow. Strength, respect, and teamwork. Values worth having. Hey, Greg. Got a big ol' smile, bud. Let's see what you got. Divorce contract. Kay and Sam Finch. No, put it back. I was just scrolling it down so I could double check who it was. Guess I was supposed to flip it.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Oh my gosh. It's so fucking sad. I'm not crying, you're crying.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
Yet. That dude is punk. Look at that hair. Alright, let's see.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I remembered.
Husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
What am I supposed to... I'm supposed to nail them with this kite? Because I will, don't think I won't. No! Where are they? Oh.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
What a rebel. I
The
missed
wind
some.
picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Gus didn't, though.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power, but all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Oh, he's gonna get struck by lightning, and that is very sad. I wish that.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam.
Oh!
But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Wow. That's... All these people are going in the craziest of ways. I love that. duty, sweep trash, mop my yard, Greg, be a baby.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Explains why her bed was barren.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Explains that much, at least.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis
That's
was
cool.
born a year later.
That's really cool, actually. I like that. Good for you.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
All those are cute. That's a good idea. Mint, thyme, and sage, basil. Did I grow tomatoes? That's cute. It's a cute little family garden.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Sure, it always
And for a
did.
while, things were good. Almost
Old school.
normal.
It's because she was a teacher.
But it didn't last.
Free computer, bro! Aw. To teach and to learn 7 ways to create a fulfilling classroom by Dawn. She wrote a book. Never does in these types of.
The
Ooh!
beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Yes, she did. Before we go inside. Oh, maybe this is how we go inside. Interesting. Let's see. How neat is that? Well, that's pretty neat. Oh, did he make this model? That's cool. Oh, that's awesome. This isn't of the house, this is of something completely different. I'm trying to look at that sideways, I can't tell what it is. Wow. This kid could draw. That's awesome. Paint, draw both. Look at that. That's awesome. Milton Finch and the magic paintbrush.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
This kid was a genius. That was awesome. He just made a flip book and a flip book. That was cool.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Boy, he could draw. A lot. This kid was. That's really impressive in all this to you guys. I wish I could draw like that. Look at that. I mean, yeah, it's,
Mom
some
spent
of it's
months
basic
searching for
shapes.
my
But
brother. Then she sealed the doors.
I didn't even see that. That's awesome. Way to go, Milton. That's awesome.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
This is a big house, but it looks like we're getting towards the top. Not many more entries left. Who all do we have? Let's see. Got Lewis, Dawn, Sanjay. No, well, maybe not Sanjay. I don't know. I don't know if those leafs we're actually going to do or if those are just for reference. We've got Edie, Dawn, Lewis for sure.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
You don't say. Wonderland
Lewis and I spent a
Turbo.
lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
It's a nice TV, dude. Locker contents.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
Oh, this is sketching me out, man.
Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
I don't know what to focus on. Oh, that was cool.
But he took it very seriously.
It switched it on me. It switched the controls. I'm sitting here like, what's going
I
on?
had hoped he'd find himself.
It switched which control sticks controlled what?
But he found something more.
This is
I
cool.
worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
Trying to focus to not cut my hand off or anything. So
He talked about
runs into
starting a
walls.
band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
This kid should have been a game developer.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
Ah,
He started drifting away from our reality.
I could play this game. I want to play whatever Lewis was playing. This looks awesome.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Minneapolis.
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Huh. This one. A handsome
Handsome
queen sounds
queen.
cool. That doesn't fit, but I. Wonder what plot influence this has.
The Queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows.
I like rainbows a lot. So you gotta cut his hand off or something?
He followed the sound of her
Silver harp.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know.
Clearly, this is his.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
That's us.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including
That's
the wise
a
Calico
big cat.
who'd insisted
Molly.
on inviting him.
Calico cat. Ah, I have a calico. Her name is Clementine. That's adorable. I didn't see that cat named Molly in the graveyard. I might have overlooked it though.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Better give that
My
boy a
brother was
crown.
really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Pill bottle in there. Wow, what a trip. Wow. Alright guys, that's gonna have to do it for now. This has been a bit more of an emotional episode, at least for me. A couple of these stories have hit me, you know. But I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. It's really good so far. But go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell to keep notified when I update new videos. Click that big red subscribe button. Check out my Twitter and Patreon. They're down in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.